On January 10th, 2026, the music world was just completely rocked by some devastating news. The incredible, vibrant voice of one of Colombia's biggest stars was silenced forever. And it happened in a tragedy that honestly feels stranger than fiction. This is the story of Yeison Jiménez. So this is the man at the very heart of our story, Yeison Jiménez. He was a singer-songwriter who came from really humble beginnings to become this absolute giant of Colombian music. And his life was tragically cut short at just 34 years old. The cause? A devastating plane crash near Bogotá. But this wasn't just a tragic accident. It was an event that eerily echoed a chilling premonition that the artist himself had actually shared with the entire world. And the heartbreaking thing is, it wasn't just him. 6 lives were lost in total. 5 other people, including his trusted pilot and members of his musical team, they also died in the crash, which just compounds this immense grief. The timeline of that final flight it's shockingly brief. At 3 p.m., the plane tries to take off. Just 1 minute later, it had already crashed. By the time first responders got there, there was nothing anyone could do. A routine flight turned fatal in literally a matter of moments. So now that we know what happened, we really have to understand who it happened to. Who was this man whose loss sent an entire nation into mourning? Well, he was the king of a genre called música popular. And if you don't know it, just think of it as the soul of Colombia set to music. It's this powerful blend of traditional Mexican ranchera sounds, but with uniquely Colombian stories, capturing all the raw emotions of life, love, and heartbreak. And his journey was just incredible. I mean, he started dreaming of music when he was just 7. By 14, he was already writing his own songs, all while working in a marketplace just to get by. His official debut album dropped in 2013, and from there, his rise was, well, it was meteoric. He became a huge composer, a chart topper, and eventually a mentor on TV music shows. And his impact? It was massive. We're talking over 400 million streams for his smash hit Aventurero, 3 completely sold-out concerts at Bogotá's giant Movistar Arena. And look, these aren't just numbers on a chart. They represent a real, deep connection with millions of fans. The point is, he was at the absolute peak of his career. Okay, but this is where the story takes a really chilling, almost unbelievable turn. The tragedy of his death is magnified by this haunting premonition, a dream that seemed to predict his own fate. So what is it that makes this more than just a tragic accident? Well, it really all comes down to something Jimenez said himself just a few weeks before he died. These are his own words from an interview in December 2025. "I have dreamed several times of dying in an air crash." Just let that sink in. It's a statement that now hangs so heavy in the air, a truly shocking piece of this puzzle. And get this, it wasn't a one-time thing. He told an interviewer he'd had the exact same nightmare 3 separate times. And he didn't just see it as a bad dream. No, he truly believed they were 3 signs from God. So you can only imagine what happened when the news finally broke. That combination of the shocking accident and his own eerie prediction just sent these massive waves of grief and disbelief all across Colombia. This quote from a fan on social media, it just captures that feeling perfectly. Imagine just scrolling through your phone and seeing that news pop up. The suddenness, the absolute shock, it was like a collective gut punch for an entire country of fans. And in a twist that's just heartbreakingly poetic, the very site of his greatest concerts, the Movistar Arena, was transformed into a place of mourning. Thousands of fans filled the exact same seats where they had once screamed and cheered for him, but now they were gathering to say one last goodbye. And in the middle of this huge public spectacle, there was this one incredibly personal, heart-wrenching moment. His young daughter, Taliana, she took the stage and shared this simple, powerful message with everyone. It was just a stark reminder of the immense private loss behind this very public tragedy. So where does that leave us? In the end, we're left not just with the tragedy, but with what he left behind: his music, his relationships, and a future of brilliant, unfinished projects. A really key part of his story was his relationship with fellow star Jesse Uribe. Publicly, everyone saw them as these fierce rivals, always battling it out for that #1 spot. But the reality? It was something much, much different.
Jesse Uribe himself actually put it best. He called it a healthy competition, and he made it clear that underneath the rivalry that the media and the fans all loved, there was a deep friendship and a whole lot of mutual love.
And this might be the most tragic detail of all. The day after the crash, the very next day, Jiménez, Uribe, and a bunch of other stars were all scheduled to go into the studio and record a song together. It was supposed to be an anthem for the Colombian national football team. He'd even asked Uribe for help getting a jersey for the music video, a project full of national pride that was never completed. Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought. Yeison Jiménez's music was all about life's biggest, most powerful emotions. But when an artist's own life ends in a way that so tragically imitates their darkest fears, how does that change the way we hear their music? What does that unfinished song truly become?